The great British love affair with train travel is as old as the railways themselves. From the beating heart of London's metropolis to the majesty of the Scottish Highlands. Connecting coast and countryside with our great cities, the East Coast Line has it all.
Disregard that, it's a glitch.
But it's the people who give life to this railway.
I trust him.
The Republic are the best form of entertainment on the planet.
The East Coast Line carries 19 million passengers a year on 155 train journeys a day, along almost 1,000 miles of track. East Coast is the largest operator on the line. It runs trains, manages stations, and employs nearly 3,000 staff.
That's all you do it all day.
I'm not playing with you while you're showing off.
The East Coast workforce toils tirelessly.
Hand your backs, please.
From driving trains
Look at this office window. Fantastic.
to making breakfasts
Took that much bacon over the years. Surprised I haven't turned into a pig.
to controlling the whole train set.
Morning, that's absolutely excellent, Graham.
Keeping everything on track behind the scenes and in public.
I've been standing here for half an hour.
These are the real heroes of the railway. East Coast Trains is one of Britain's biggest and most diverse transport networks.
Any breakfast for you this morning? No, nothing at all?
There are 53 stations on the line, from the big city slicker that is London's King's Cross
OK, sir, jump on the train.
to some smaller country cousins.
Back in the trenches now, and we'll go crazy in another half hour.
12 stations are managed by East Coast Trains themselves, and Newcastle, by far the biggest and the busiest, is one of the jewels in the crown. A Grade 1 listed building, the station has 12 platforms and handles nearly 8 million passengers a year.
Train now at platform 2 is a 1944 service to Edinburgh Waverley.
The local staff who work here take a Geordie pride in the smooth running of their station.
Try and keep Newcastle's image cleaner.
Take your time, sir.
But they never know exactly who or what is coming down the line. They see it all here, the good, the bad, and occasionally the very ugly.
You know, I've worked all around the world. To come back to my hometown, to be manager of Newcastle Station, I feel very privileged. I feel very honoured to have the job, and you know, and I walk through my station with pride every day, and that's what keeps us going.
Station manager Louise is the queen of all she surveys. Newcastle Station is her pride and joy.
Have to keep an eye on these vents because it gets very, very dusty on there. Yeah, it's white paintwork, so.
The station is Louise's home from home, and nothing escapes her beady eye.
Look at the handle. Let's get a new handle ordered for there. Yeah, you can see. You see here?
Marks on the wall.
Yeah. Staff say that I never carry a handbag, I carry a bucket and mop.
Oh, you got to fill them on the top.
That was just cleaned yesterday as well.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Louise has a crack team of customer service assistants whose job it is to look after passengers and keep the trains running. Railway lifer Daz is one of the station's longest-serving staff.
This is the one, darling, this is the one, yeah. Started there as a cleaner. Been there, like, well, I say nearly 30 years now. It's good life, man, it's really good life.
Like his boss, Louise, railways are in Daz's blood.
I'm hoping to be a 50-year man, I think. I've worked it out. If I do a 1-year extension, I'll do 50 years. I'll get that for you. If you step inside the door, I'll get it on for you, OK?
Part of Daz's job is the safe dispatch of trains. Believe it or not, there's a lot more to it than blowing whistles and waving. Daz must make sure his trains leave on time, or East Coast pays the price.
If the train leaves late, then it incurs costs to our companies. We have to pay Network Rail, because obviously it might delay something else. That's another one away safe and on time. East Coast is running well today. No route problems, sir, if anybody asks.
The mainline trains are too long for just one person to dispatch safely. Step up Daz and John, Newcastle's dynamic duo.
The train's about 1/4 of a mile long, so if that, it's a big thing to look after. It's eyes in the back of your head. I've had parents trying to put the children in pushchairs on the trains before. When the doors are closing, it beggars belief sometimes with people. You're just using common sense. You don't. If you haven't got that much common sense, don't have children. I'm sorry. Excuse me 2 seconds, gentlemen. This is where I thought. So it's my responsibility till this train leaves the platform. Anything that doesn't look right, we can still stop the train until the guard goes past me. Once he goes past me, then it comes down to the signalman. Fundamentally, I'm dispatch. I deal with the trains, but I deal with the public as well. I like people. British public are the best form of entertainment on the planet.
OK, sir, jump on the train. Edinburgh. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, madam. First stop is York. Thank you.
Train now at platform 2 is a 1944 East Coast service to Edinburgh Waverley. This train will call at Morpeth and Edinburgh Waverley only. Customers always right. Always right. That's what we're led to believe. Customers always right. I say that with my tongue firmly in my cheek.
Keeping customers happy is a high priority for the station staff, and a simple thank you can make it all worthwhile.
Oh, Dad, that lady that you helped with the bag on the train
Oh,
sent
right,
a lovely
aye.
little card in.
Oh, let's have a look. Is that us?
No, it's not.
Yeah? Oh, I remember the one when the bag went to Durham and we got it back. That's sweet, aye. That's nice, isn't it?
Oh, well done, well
Yeah,
done.
thank
Right,
you.
I'm gonna
Cheers.
put your little
You're telling me great. All right, on the board.
letter
yeah,
on
lovely.
the board, okay?
Thanks, boss. Cheers.
Okay.
Each thank you letter gets a place on Louise's special board of praise.
Mrs. Jones is everybody. So our customers that go on the trains, coming through the stations. We call everyone our Mrs. Jones customer.
It's Louise's baby, yeah, she loves that kind of thing, aye, definitely, aye. So I'll be in her good books for a few weeks with her, and whenever I do anything wrong, she comes in with a stern face, I'm just going to wave my card at her and that'll keep her nice, and she'll be happy with that. I've got it in my pocket for at least a couple of days, yeah.
Customer satisfaction may be important, but customer safety is paramount. In 3 days' time, Team Newcastle needs to be at the top of its game, as around 3,000 football fans will descend on the station for one of the country's biggest grudge matches.
On Sunday, we've got a very busy day because we've got the Sunderland Newcastle derby game. It's going to be a big day. The city's electric, lots of planning in place.
It's a match of such intense rivalry that the threat of violence is a real concern.
Two sets of fans, two teams that hate each other, two sets of fans who are very volatile on that day, probably go to work on the Monday and be best of mates, but for that 1 or 2 days of season it's crazy.
Well, we can start cordoning this off now, as from Friday I would say.
For station manager Louise, Derby Day is the most testing shift of the year.
Previous games, there's been a lot of arrests and a lot of fights on the station and supporters running across the lines.
Maybe start tonight. Yeah.
But the last 3 years, it's been in a very controlled manner, and touch wood, there hasn't been any incidences.
John and Daz save the day at Durham. And it's action stations for Louise. It's early afternoon in Newcastle, and information controller Daz has a short announcement to make.
Train at platform number 4 is at 13:42. Cross-country train service to Penzance, calling at Durham, Darlington, York, Leeds, Wakefield, Westgate, Sheffield, Chesterfield, Derby, Tamworth, Birmingham, New Street, Cheltenham Spa, Bristol Parkway, Bristol Temple Meads, Taunton, Tiverton Parkway, Exeter St David's, Newton Abbot, Totnes, Plymouth, Liscard, Bodmin Parkway, Lostwithiel, Parr, St Austell, Truro, Redruth, Camborne, Hale, St Erupts and Penzance. Platform 4 for the 13:42 cross-country train service to Penzance. See how long that is? It's ridiculous, man.
It's the calm before the storm, as in 3 days' time, thousands of football fans will converge on the station for the Newcastle-Sunderland derby. For station manager Louise, the day requires meticulous planning.
My plan for the day is to make sure everything runs fantastically without any safety incidents.
In preparation for match day, Louise is meeting with British Transport Police.
Obviously, you're fully aware that this has been graded as a Category C, high risk of disorder within the rail network.
With passions running high between rival Newcastle and Sunderland fans, the station team must prepare for the worst.
Any issues associated with crowd control within the railway station are down to yourselves. We anticipate about 2,400 to travel by train. The fans themselves will be coming out onto the Neville Street exit, and they will be escorted around the back and down into the car park exit, where they will then join the main bulk of the football supporters under Oxford Street.
I think we've both got the same objectives: crime-free, minimal disruption to passengers. Yeah. On the day, you've got station manager and 3 duty managers, so staffing-wise, we'll be on the ground.
You know, it's a cast of thousands for this game. It's quite an impactful game for the whole of the region, and there's quite a lot at stake.
But the 2,500 football supporters are not the only fans who'll be arriving at Newcastle Station in 3 days' time. Rock superfan Paul will also be there on the big day.
That's my big country T-shirt from, I've not worn it 18 months.
Paul's getting ready for a marathon East Coast train journey following his idols, Big Country. Big who? Well, they were big in the 80s and they're still going strong.
So we've decided to go to Glasgow, Aberdeen and Newcastle in 3 days. People have said I'm mad, but it's when you've got a passion for something, I think you should do it.
Paul's passion started when he was in the RAF, stationed in the Falkland Islands.
8,000 miles away from a wife. I'd been married less than a year. So then the music, that was when it really kicked in. That's all I live for, music. The album's called The Journey, and that's what we're going on. And we're all going on this journey because in life, that's what it's about. You know, we're all on one big journey.
And his journey starts at the crack of dawn at Doncaster Station.
It's 6 o'clock and we're like 15 hours away before the first chords go from Big Country, but here I am now. I'm actually buzzing, waiting to, and I still have to wait 15 hours. That's what it is, it's crazy.
Paul won't be travelling alone. 3 stops up the line at Darlington, another Big Country fanatic joins him, and he's called Paul too.
So I've done, I reckon, 45, 46 gigs for Big Country. How many have you done now, you reckon?
This is my 180th tonight.
Your 180th?
180th.
So what's your next target? After today, 180, what would you
if I do another 20 next year, I'll do that and do 200.
To get 200?
To 200, yeah.
Wow.
Glasgow, and for one night only, home to the two Pauls musical heroes.
We're now in our big country mood. Come on, and look at Paul, look his all his badges, see?
Best band in the world.
The transformation, isn't it, yeah? This morning you saw what we are and we're just mental on big country. That's what it means for us still. These are all albums, and I said to you, it's Paul's 108, Paul K's 180th gig, big country gig, you know. 180! That's my big country ticket. We're gonna have fun. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Certain days in the year test certain stations to the limit. At Durham, the team is getting ready for one of its biggest challenges. It's so dramatic that they have to draft in all the extra troops they can muster, including the A-team from Newcastle, John and Daz.
Extra pair of hands to bring the big guns out when they need to bring the big guns. Break the box and let me out.
Morning, sir. You off to London? Yeah. Would you like us to take care of your bag and we'll put it in the guard's van, sir? And you'll be to collect at the other end?
The team is preparing for what's known as the Exodus, the day Durham's 15,000 university students and all their worldly goods leave town.
Yeah, we're students at Durham and it's the end of term, so we're all going back to our homes, which is really exciting.
Never seen Durham Station have so many customer service people around, actually.
Yeah, they're really helpful as well, though.
Yeah.
We didn't have the help that we've got today. It would be a lot worse.
We've got marketing, we've got station managers down from Darlington, we've got the one that's in charge of Newcastle. Anybody that can find it spare is willing to come and give them a hand for a couple of hours.
But the East Coast staff aren't just here to be helpful, as time is money. The team can't rely on sleepy-headed students to get themselves and their bags on board in time, and any delays can incur fines of thousands of pounds.
We've got 90 seconds to get a train from stop to start and off the platform, so when the wheels stop, the 90 seconds begin. If the train is delayed, we get fined for every minute of delay time that we incur. So there is high pressure on this.
1 minute, 20 seconds.
Mission completed, and with a whole 10 seconds to spare.
So it's back in the trenches now, and we'll go crazy in another half hour.
Hiya. If you wish, aye.
I got my degree in it.
Oh, aye.
Just get on the train and fail.
Aye, not a problem. No. You can watch it go in safely. The only people who can go in is us with carriage keys. You have to be railway staff to get in.
I had 1 or 2 delays in the platform, but you've just got to accept that, take that on the chin.
By close of play, the supercharged Durham team have dispatched 10 trains, sending around 2,500 of Britain's brainiest and their dirty washing homeward bound. And they pulled it off without any costly delays.
It's been a cracking day. Enjoyed it. Back to Newcastle for the rest of my shift.
After a late night in Glasgow, rock superfans Paul and Paul have taken the train up to Aberdeen for the second gig of their big country marathon.
Slightly different day today in that we're going to check in a bit earlier have a few drinks, and then we're just waiting for the phone call to go down and get involved with the sound check, which is none of us have ever been to a sound check, so it's all new stuff. It was a chance meeting with Mike Peters, and I politely asked him, and Mike politely said, of course.
The two Pauls have managed to get exclusive access to their hero's sound check, courtesy of lead singer Mike Peters.
I've never ever been to a sound check. We get up close and personal with the band, and that for me it's beyond dreams, it's beyond belief, because they're still heroes, but we can talk to them. At the end of the day, they're just normal people, and that's just blown away now, you know. And we haven't even seen the second concert yet.
I can understand the fans that travel night after night to see Big Country. I used to do it myself when I was a kid, following the Clash and the Buzzcocks, and I know that there's something in music, in rock music, that gets deep into the heart of a lot of people, and one show is not enough.
Tomorrow, the two Pauls will be back on a train bound for Newcastle. And they won't be the only ones, as thousands of football fans head for one of the most explosive local derbies of the year. But just how prepared is Newcastle Station for kick-off?
Heart racing, pulses up, temperatures up, nervous energies here. Before I started working on the railway, I was playing a lot of football. I was going on a lot of football trials and what have you. And I was meant to have one at sort of Ipswich Town and sort of one at Sunderland. You know, I come on the railway as a short-term sort of fix before I'd go on these trials, and I had my life mapped out. I was going to be a superstar footballer. It never happened like that, unfortunately. I come on the railway as a short-term fix, and I'm here 22 years later. You know, and it's all I know.
It's the day of the Newcastle-Sunderland football derby. It's a potentially volatile clash, and the station could easily become a flashpoint. Today, months of planning between East Coast trains and the police will be put to the test. This is always a tense fixture, but the stakes are particularly high today.
If Newcastle beat Sunderland today, I think we're 5 points clear of a relegation spots at the minute. So if Newcastle win today, we go 8 points clear. We've only a few games left, so Newcastle would be safe from relegation. So it's a massive game for both teams, you know.
It's 10 in the morning, and with a midday kick-off, the station's already filling up with local Newcastle fans as well as regular passengers. With thousands expected to pass through the station, anything that could be picked up and thrown must be cleared. But there's one object that's proving tough to shift.
Well, you'll get that off me, bother. It's the deal off that will be the problem.
Someone's left a tricycle locked up to a railing, slap bang in the middle of the concourse.
We'll try to get in touch with anyone to come and remove it, but they're not like us, they don't work weekends, so we're having it removed.
Note that one. On this way.
The deal off the one.
Rest it on there. Right as close to the edge as you can.
Try as they might, the team can't cut through the lock, and with fans pouring into the station, drastic times call for drastic measures. Just in the nick of time. The first of several special trains packed with Sunderland fans is about to arrive.
This is a calm before the storm, and we've got everything, all the preparations in place, and we're just waiting for the special service to arrive.
The first of the special trains carrying Sunderland fans has just arrived. plan is to keep them together, away from rival supporters and under police escort, all the way to the ground.
Tactical plan around meeting the special trains in is we'll ensure that there's a cordon in place, and then we'll escort those individuals off the train and out of the railway station. We're just making sure that we've got a sort of like a sterile corridor just to minimise any risk of disorder.
The Sunderland supporters are held in a car park at the edge of the station until all the special trains have arrived and the fans can be escorted to the ground.
I think it's important to say that the vast majority of the individuals who go to this football match are honest, decent, hard-working individuals. However, like any other typical event, a minority can potentially spoil it for the rest.
With the first wave of fans held in the car park, another football trainload arrives. Police rush back and repeat their routine.
Yeah, more than here, just so they can get the lines in order over there to escort them out.
Louise has held her nerve so far on a very tricky day.
There's women at work here who actually take like the day off because they would just hate Derby Day. But it can get really, really intimidating, and it's not a nice place to be when you've got sort of running battles outside and you've got people full of alcoholic beverage, sort of working ourselves, shouting and bawling. The police do show a presence out there, and they do police it quite well. But they cannot be everywhere all the time, and that's when the trouble starts.
But now the station is trouble-free, and the police are ready to escort the Sunderland fans to the match. But in 3 hours' time, they'll be back, and Louise and her team can only guess what mood they will be in then.
Okay.
Just saying it went off very well. Just hope the return's just as easy.
Yeah.
Sure it will be. Back to normal running for a few hours.
Cup of tea.
Cup of tea.
Time for a nice cup of tea. For everyone, that is, except Mark. He has a wee problem to deal with.
All the Sunderland supporters come up here. I mean, obviously there's no toilets, so what's happened is that they've branched off, seen this nice little spot, and they've had to urinate on the back of my office. Could have been a lot worse, could be blood, we're mopping up, there's been no trouble, it's been well managed, so a little bit disinfectant's not the end of the world.
Land of hope and glory. I've got lots to do with this, is that right? My liege. My liege.
It may be calm now, but things are bound to hot up after the game.
If Newcastle win, the city centre have a good atmosphere about it. If Newcastle get beat, then we'll feel worse because of the fans. The natives will get restless and there will be disturbances, but let's just hope that there's a fair result up St James's Park today. I'm sure there will be. I'm sure that the home fans will be happy.
With Newcastle Station temporarily back to normal, another train is about to hit the tune. Rock fan Paul is completing the last leg of his epic East Coast journey following 80s rock idols Big Country. He's just got a message from his daughter, who's waiting at the station.
She's just sent me a text at the phone. Just read this in your stars, laugh out loud. Don't let the travel wear you down because you'll feel a sense of achievement at the end of the day. How ironic. Now, that's fate.
Paul finally arrives at Newcastle to find the station a much quieter place than it was a couple of hours ago.
Just arrived at Newcastle. It's full of police and I've got my daughter now, so we're on the third gig. My third gig on this tour, the Journey tour, and it's Fiona's first gig tonight in Newcastle. So it's a bit of excitement now because obviously Fiona's probably been listening to the album more than I have, but I've been listening to the live music, so I've got my musical buddy back now.
On his journey, Paul will have travelled over 700 miles and rocked along to 54 big country tunes.
Whenever I talk about big country, you know, my last 2 words are always stay alive. And I think Fiona knows, as and when I do pass away, I think on my tombstone will be stay alive. I'm in love with big country, and I don't admit in that. It's a passion that I have for music, and this band has taken me on a special journey, and this journey is going to continue for a few more years yet. So yeah, it's been really, really good and exciting.
Newcastle station may be quiet now, but it's still a very tense time for some of the staff. Newcastle fan Mark doesn't quite have his mind 100% on the job.
5 minutes to kick off. Heart racing, pulses up, temperatures up. The nervous energy's here.
Hello, mate.
Nervous, mate?
Nervous? Aye, it's a couple of minutes to go, isn't it, yeah? That's what it's like. Go on!
Go ahead. While the boys worry about the match, Louise's concern is what the result might mean for her station.
Everything that's happened today, it'll now be in reverse formation, so we'll have to be waiting for the fans to come back.
But for a safe operation on the station, I would like it to be a draw. It'd be good for us.
When the big game kicks off, Newcastle station gets the good,
come on,
the bad,
what a nightmare,
and the ugly. The hotly contested Newcastle-Sunderland football derby kicked off 15 minutes ago. At the station, for Newcastle fans Mark and Daz, the love of the tune is too hard to resist.
No, we're not. No, not like that. No, we're not on the football page. No, we're not allowed to have that on the internet. Okay. Yeah. Oh, no!
When Sunderland scored the first goal, Daz just can't keep his cool.
What?
Castle's getting beat.
Sorry, boss. Sorry.
The current score is 1-0 to Sunderland. Not very good.
Louise and her staff are worried. A Sunderland win would mean trouble is more likely.
If Newcastle win, then normally you'll find the Sunderland fans start leaving the stadium and they all don't come out all together, so that's good for us for crowd control in the station. If Sunderland win, then there could be a few disgruntled fans and perhaps a few fights.
Not good for us at Newcastle because, well, not good for me because I'm on all day. It might be rather a difficult shift, the rest of the shift.
It's not good for the football and it's not good for the supporters later on because it turns a little bit crazy, to be honest.
Oh, it's just still a goal!
Newcastle are 1 down and Daz is gutted.
Cece's getting chance after chance, but he's not putting out away.
60 minutes in and good news for Daz. It seems Newcastle have equalised.
Come on! It means so much, man! It means so much!
Even better if we can pull another goal. Be a good result for us and make the shift go a lot easier.
But the Newcastle goal is disallowed. Daz is on an emotional roller coaster.
I said it was ourselves going on, would it be offside? I only just noticed it is, aye.
I'm going to have a quick tour of
Okay, Phil, no problem, but not bothered. Still, it's 1-0 to them, still. What a nightmare.
And Daz's nightmare is about to get worse. With just 10 minutes to go, Sunderland score again.
Oh, Tower. They've just scored a wonder goal, Sunderland. What a goal. They haven't won since 2000, and this is it. This is their day to day, I think. Like.
What is it now? 3-0. Oh well, at least one side will be happy. Thanks, you sit.
At the final whistle, Sunderland win 3-0 and Louise fears the worst.
The major concern now is just the clash between the Sunderland fans that are coming to use the station and Newcastle fans that are in the station.
There's not going to be a problem with the Sunderland fans because they're all going to be in good spirits because it's a cracking result for them. Unfortunately, for us, it's not it's a good result.
It's an absolute nightmare when it kicks off and the supporters are each other's throats. It's not a nice place to be honest. It's a little bit intimidating.
You can see now we've got a lot of police in attendance now. They're obviously getting prepared for them coming down.
The police are escorting the Sunderland fans back to the station where Louise is waiting nervously.
Are they on the way, Brian, are they?
What?
Are they on the way?
Yeah, they're on the way. The escort's on its way down, so we'll hear them coming down the back of 4th Street. It's going to be one slick move in onto the station, onto the train, and then gone. That's the plan. So we'll see how it happens.
En route to the station, the Victoria's Sunderland fans taunt their Newcastle rivals who are growing increasingly agitated.
Yeah, for information, we've got large crowds, repeat, large crowds at the top of the west end of Newcastle Central Station, possible estimate about 200, 250.
The police are trying to keep the sets of rival fans apart. But almost inevitably, it all starts to kick off.
Hey guys, you've heard what said there, massive problems with the escort, people trying to attack them en route, so be on your game, please.
With skirmishes breaking out in the city centre, the police need to get the Sunderland supporters out of town fast. For Louise, it's becoming the stuff of nightmares. Suddenly, a large group of Newcastle fans break through into the station on the hunt for their rivals.
Apparently we've got a load of supporters coming down there, jumping over the barriers.
Dog handlers to the front end of the station, dog handlers to the front of the station.
Some supporters start throwing things at the police.
Oh, Charlie, November officers, draw your buy-ins! Draw your buy-ins! Stop me! Missiles being thrown, missiles being thrown!
While the police handle security, Louise's main concern is to protect the passengers in her station.
Just want to move back, you're going to get hurt here, okay? Move back.
Thrown, missiles being thrown! Station, come on, run the back!
So I'm going to ask you to move back in case you get damaged.
What are collies? All unprotected officers, back to the front of the station! Back to the front of the station. Go on, let's get some call.
How did those fans get there? Do you know?
Don't know. I don't know. Guys, are you all right? That wasn't good, was it not, eh? And what they've done is they've climbed over the gates and tried to get a platform 12 and thrown things. But that was bad.
Still determined to get at the Sunderland supporters, some Newcastle fans have begun to surround the station.
Is it the Newcastle fans that's throwing the stuff? What, they're throwing the stuff at us for?
To protect everyone inside the station, the police form a human shield.
Anybody in now, unless you want to take it, no, it's the same because I have to let everyone in.
basically what we've done, we've closed the front doors here because there's still a lot of Newcastle fans outside, obviously knowing that the Sunderland fans wanting to get on the train.
We weren't planning on going to get taxis, but obviously we're barricaded at the station because people throwing coal and cones, fighting. We can't get out of the station, we're locked in practically.
It's essential to get the Sunderland fans off the station before the situation gets worse.
Once they come and go, then open the station to all traffic. But they're on the way in now as we speak.
We need to get them as quickly as possible onto this set here and then out the station.
Finally, the Sunderland supporters board their trains.
Wasn't good. It was quite a scary situation because we're thrown things. We haven't had anything like that for the last three and a half years.
The skirmishes have left a trail of devastation.
I did tell you it did kick off when we got a result like this, as you can see by the damage and the missiles that's been thrown.
Even some vehicles in the staff car park have been damaged.
I think this is one of the worst hit ones. You can see the dent in the car. Well, they used these cars here to jump up onto the roofs to get the leverage over the fence. And that's how they've actually gotten onto the station, because this is all cordoned off. There's about 4 or 5 cars there that's damaged.
But it's not just the station that has felt the effects of a difficult day, it's been tough on its keeper.
It's very distressing to see this happening on my station. It's my second home. I spend the majority of my time here, and you know, I'm responsible, and I need passengers to feel safe here.
Derby Day has taken its toll on the town, claiming 29 arrests and 3 police officers injured.
I'm a Newcastle fan, I make no secret of that. And I think what the Newcastle fans done to our own city on Derby Day, it makes us a little bit ashamed to smash up our own city centre. It's ridiculous. And they're just like, you know, we're not just smashing up our city centre, we're smashing up property that belongs to people who are working class. And they've got to go to work, and they've got to work hard to pay for cars and car repairs and shops and little businesses getting windows put out and that. I think it's just a disgrace. You know, it's going too far. It's taking it way too far. And these aren't just kids, these are grown men. And unfortunately, on this occasion, it was the Newcastle United fans that let ourselves down big time. So yeah, on that day, it made us ashamed,
The great British love affair with train travel is as old as the railways themselves. From the beating heart of London's metropolis to the majesty of the Scottish Highlands. Connecting coast and countryside with our great cities, the East Coast Line has it all.
Disregard that, it's a glitch.
But it's the people who give life to this railway.
I trust it.
British public are the best form of entertainment on the planet.
The East Coast Line carries 19 million passengers a year on 155 train journeys a day, along almost 1,000 miles of track. East Coast is the largest operator on the line. It runs trains, manages stations, and employs nearly 3,000 staff.
That's what you do it all day. I'm not playing with you while you're showing off.
The East Coast workforce toils tirelessly.
Demand your bags, please.
From driving trains
Look at this office window. Fantastic.
to making breakfasts
I've cooked that much bacon over the years, surprised I haven't turned into a pig.
to controlling the whole train set.
Morning. That's absolutely excellent, Graham. Thank you very much for that news.
Keeping everything on track behind the scenes and in public.
I've been standing here for half an hour.
These are the real heroes of the railway. Around 3,000 men and women work for East Coast. Many have spent their entire working lives on the railway, and many more are only just embarking on their careers.
I've got a good shift, haven't we? Yes, darling.
But they all know that on the railways, no 2 days are alike.
Every day is different on the railway.
And whatever gets thrown their way, whether good or bad,
when you get something like a fatality, it puts things into context a little bit.
A bit crazy.
One more and you're off the station.
it's all in a day's work.
And it's not working. Anything can be thrown at you at any minute.
No, off the train. Off.
Late March, officially it's spring, but the Great British Winter is having one last hurrah. Just when everyone thought they could pack away their cold weather gear, Britain's woken up to the worst March snowfall in 30 years. And weather like this can spell chaos for the entire rail network.
It's running a little bit late, so we'll be about another 9 minutes or so.
At York Station, East Coast rookie dispatcher Liam is manning the information desk.
It's been a bit of a nightmare so far today, really. Heavy snow right across the country. A lot of our services have been delayed. It really is causing chaos, to be honest. You had a nightmare journey so far? Joking. Where have you come from? All sorts of crazy inquiries. I mean, people are asking me if the train's going to be all right tomorrow, but I don't even know if the train's going to be all right in an hour's time, never mind tomorrow. So I always get inquiries like that, but I've not got a crystal ball, unfortunately. I wish I did, but I don't.
Can I see tickets, please? That's it, excellent. There you are. Thank you very much. Good morning. There you are. Thank you very much.
A snowstorm was the last thing Guard Adrian expected when he boarded his Newcastle-bound train this morning.
Oh, it's getting deep here, isn't it? Look at that. A couple of inches deep at the platform. Oh, we're not even halfway there yet.
Yeah, can you just let me know the situation with the snow there? Is it still as bad as it was? It is still snowing.
At the control centre in York, the beating heart of the East Coast operation, the team is busy monitoring all services and ensuring communications are up to date across the network for crew and passengers.
You're okay as far as passengers getting in and out of the station? Right, that's perfect.
Information controller Mickey thinks they're managing the unexpected disruption pretty well.
We're able to run a pretty decent service. In fact, we haven't cancelled one train today. And the latest train we have running, I think, is 20 minutes late.
But all this could change if the weather conditions continue to worsen.
There's some more snow forecast for the next 24 hours. Sub-zero temperatures throughout the route. London -1. Northeast -4. We never used to have temperatures like that, I'm sure. We're getting more and more like Canada each day. But when I think back to this weekend last year, it was a boiling hot weekend. It just goes to show. You never know what to expect. You just have to be prepared for all kinds of weathers.
On the train speeding north, Adrian's bracing himself for the worst.
It's looking heavy. Yeah, it looks very thick. I can imagine it's getting worse as we get further north.
While the train crews battle through the snow on their way north, Back at King's Cross, young customer services assistants Jack and Bianca have landed a plum job. East Coast is rolling out a new uniform, and this lucky pair will be modelling the collection on its first public outing.
I've seen the new uniform and I thought I really loved it. I really liked it. It's very pink, but for me, I love it. So
I've only seen the pictures. I've only seen the pictures with the waistcoats, and everybody's written all over it saying no waistcoat.
Bianca is clearly excited about the new look.
I've only been here a year and a half and I feel like I need a change of the uniform, so this is coming in right at the best time.
But Jack seems a little more sceptical.
I feel like I'm looking at a book of carpet samples. It's very pink. How good do I look?
Compliment your hair.
Yeah, thank you.
East Coast plans to introduce the new look in shirts, ties, jumpers, and yes, Jack, waistcoats. Around 20,000 garments will be rolled out across the network.
Right then, we're going to try it on.
No? Okay, yeah. Give this a try. Pinning it around the back.
Looks like Jack is coming around to the new image.
But yeah, there you go. Ready for customer service.
What do you think?
Very nice. I think yours fits a bit better than mine.
Yeah, your waistcoat doesn't...
It fits. I can't pinning it around the back now.
Jack and Bianca will be modelling the new uniform in the East Coast service from London to Leeds, and it's almost departure time. En route to Newcastle, train guard Adrian assists a passenger who missed his scheduled connection because of the snow.
What time's the connection? Let's have a look. There's a 9:49.
How long does it take for them to get to Sheffield?
That'll get to Sheffield at 10:19. But obviously there might be delays themselves as well, so...
Just like the passengers, Adrian is anxious that the bad weather doesn't leave him stuck in transit, unable to get home to London.
Lovely jubbly. Like anybody else, I want to get home to my family, so I don't want to be delayed any longer than I have to be. I've got a wife and 3 kids at home, and I want to be home to see them before they go to bed.
The train's pulling into Newcastle, and Adrian's got an hour to wait for his homeward-bound train, which is currently heading south from Inverness.
I hope the snow settles down now so we can get back home on time, but who knows?
Back at King's Cross, Jack and Bianca's impromptu fashion show is about to begin on the Leeds-bound train. At the cafe bar, Jack's come up with a cunning plan.
I'm just going to ask people when they come up to the bar whether they like the new uniform or not, and I'm just going to make a tally and see whether or not at the end of the day it's a good idea. It's a way to do it. Maybe not the best, but probably the most fun.
And not to be outdone, Bianca's canvassing passengers' opinions about the new outfits.
Yeah, this is our new uniform today. Just wanted to see what you think about it.
That's really nice.
Oh, good.
It's smart. Colourful as well.
It's very bright, isn't it? Yeah. We stick out a bit. Everyone was saying they liked the colour. I think that's what everyone's feeling. It stands out. I think we want to stand out from the crowd. We are something special, so we want a nice uniform to go with the way we feel, sort of, really. So that's it.
The ladies like the look, but what will Jack's customers say?
Well, what do you think? Do you think this is a smart uniform? This is a uniform change for us, yeah? Do you want to just fill in my very official poll that I've devised there for you, sir?
That's a yes, but Jack is angling for more.
Hiya. What do you think of the new uniform, sir? Yeah? Ah, fair enough. Oh dear, it's all good fun.
What do you think is our new one?
It's very lovely.
Thank you. There you go.
Yeah, I know. It's I quite like the pinky sort of tones.
See, women, we love the pink.
Yeah.
What do you think, sir? New uniform?
Yeah, it's all right, yeah.
Do you think this one's very smart? Do you like it?
Yes.
Yeah? Good.
I
Great.
noticed it on the platform on a lady as I walked up, one of your colleagues.
What do you think about our new uniform? We're just trying these out today.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, lovely.
I like the short sleeves especially.
Yeah.
Back in Newcastle, after an hour break, train card Adrian's London-bound train is good to go, and the snowfall has stopped for the time being. But now he's facing something much, much worse.
Excellent. That was our control saying there's a child been sick in coach E for Echo, seats 5 and 6. Maybe I don't have a look at how much of a cleaning it needs. I hate kids sick. Well, my kids are sick at home. I can't stomach it.
Adrian surveys the damage, and it's not as bad as he had feared.
Oh, I know, but it's just not as bad as I thought. People have to drive time things, don't they? I thought it'd be everywhere.
As a guard, Adrian won't do the dirty work. A clean-up team will take care of it at the next station stop.
You all right, Princess?
Are you better?
Not really.
Are you sick?
It's now late afternoon, and the snowstorm has let up.
Be 144 down on platform 1, just about in the left. All right. Yeah, I think the rest of the day's going to be pretty smooth, to be honest. Last sort of half an hour, it's died down a lot. There's not as many delays, fingers crossed.
Adrian's relieved. The snow is no longer a worry. In fact, his train is making good time into London.
It's always good getting back up to London, especially if you're early as well, which is a refreshing change. And your buggy. That's no problem at all, that's all right. She's happy she's back on solid ground.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
While Adrian heads home to his family, Jack and Bianca's train rolls into Leeds, and the momentous moment has arrived. The boats have been counted, and the result is...
We have 7 ticks for yes and 0 ticks for no. So overall, I think it's going to be a good uniform.
A death on the line creates chaos.
East Coast Control, it impacted on us quite heavily.
Ed and Black are not very good.
The standing for them train, there's only one result.
It should be just a regular Thursday for employees and travellers on the East Coast Line. 155 services carrying thousands of passengers across 936 miles of track. East Coast staff members are used to dealing with anything the job can throw at them. But there's one event that every employee dreads.
Just come in from a train from York, just departed from Doncaster, arrived in Retford and heard about that there'd been a fatality. So just narrowly escaped whatever happened up there.
Any death on the tracks, suicide, accidental or suspicious, can cause severe delays while the police investigate.
East Coast Control.
In York, at the East Coast Control Centre, rolling stock controller Gary and his team are facing major disruptions.
It was a River cross-country service just south of York. So that was the one involved in the fatality. Although it wasn't an East Coast train involved in it, it impacted on us quite heavily. It closed the main lines to and from London. It closed them for approximately, I think it was about 90 minutes all told. So there was no services permitted to move south of York for that period of time.
The police have given the rail companies the all clear, and York Control's first objective is to bring all services currently delayed back on time as quickly as possible.
If we terminate the Sierra 13 or Sierra 15,
Sierra 13 would probably be the better one for us.
Gary is terminating services running north from York and concentrating on moving enough trains south to King's Cross to prepare for the capital's evening rush.
Rather than chase our tails all day, I'm to terminate short to bring a service back on time. It's a little bit of pain for the good in the end to get everything back on an even keel.
For now, train guard Claire is stuck at King's Cross.
Everything's been late now, so hopefully my train coming in won't be too late, but a bit crazy. This is the trains that are coming from north, so you can find out which is making your train to go back. This is the running board of the ones that are running late. So the green ones are okay, red and black are not very good. I'm just hoping that the train that we have to go back is in on time and then everything's fine.
Fatalities, particularly suicides, are a sobering aspect of life on the railway. In the last year, there have been 238 recorded suicides on UK railways. That figure comprised nearly 4% of all UK suicides. Fatalities cost the UK railway industry millions of pounds a year, but the human cost is impossible to measure.
For me, I think the most difficult and challenging aspect is the amount of fatalities that we have on the railway. I mean, sometimes you can get a week where obviously you don't have one. At other times, you know, I had 5 in the space of 3 days. The drivers have an incredibly difficult time.
One driver who's come face to face with a potential suicide is Graham. Based in Newcastle, he's worked on the railway for over 34 years.
Ultimately, it's an awful experience for the driver involved, because obviously he sees and he kind of do nothing about it. For example, I'm doing nearly 120 miles an hour now, and if somebody decided to just run in front of me, about 100 yards in front of us, it doesn't matter how hard I put the brake on, with 700-800 tons behind us, you're never going to stop.
The memory of the person he hit still haunts him.
He was only a young lad, he was the same age as my son. He was only 14. Why he did it, I'll never know. And I did speak to my son afterwards, and I said, if you think anything's bad, it's never that bad, ever. We can always sort something out, but it's never bad for somebody to have to do that, stand in front of a train. Because they stand in front of a train, there's only one result.
Any driver involved in a fatality receives care and counselling.
It's very important that that care and that support is in place for them.
It can affect different drivers in different ways. There's drivers I've known who have actually had fatalities in the past and they've been back at work within 2 weeks. But there's other drivers that have been off for 6 months, and I'm sure there's drivers in the past that's actually finished their career because they couldn't get back in the cab. The drivers I've known who have been off a long time, that's been the thing. They've not been able to get back in the cab. It's been very difficult to go over the piece of track again where that incident's happened because it's still in their mind.
An hour has passed since the police gave the all clear, but back at East Coast Control in York, the delays continue to disrupt the schedule.
Right, John, Sierra 13, terminate Newcastle.
Yeah.
Echo 24, SSO Berwick.
Yeah. Are we putting Berwick in S15 as well? Because S16 could be quite full.
Today's delays have affected all East Coast passengers. Those travelling north to Scotland are among the worst affected.
One's 87 minutes late, one's 66 minutes late, and they're all late runners. So one's heading towards London, and that will terminate. And then we've got the Inverness train that's running 66 minutes late. So that will have an impact on our customers when they get to Inverness, because they probably missed the last ScotRail service. So we'll have to provide onward transport, whether it be in taxis or maybe a coach, depending on how many passengers are. And it's all part of their contract for us to get them to the final destination.
The control centre team is determined to keep the inconvenience for passengers down to a minimum, but some knock-on delays are inevitable.
Unfortunately, when you get something like a fatality, it puts things into context a little bit. It's not great, and unfortunately we seem to get more than our fair share of them. Passengers, as long as updated and you lay the cards on the table, then I think they're a bit more understanding of the circumstances. It's out of your control.
A death on the track is stressful for passengers and staff alike, but for those employees whose job it is to deal directly with the aftermath, the stress is particularly acute.
One of my roles as a technical team leader, I do get called out to fatalities. can remember the last one I went out to was a young girl. She was only 16, 17 years old, was hit by one of our trains that killed her instantly. And I do remember helping the police collect body parts, cleaning up, and remember a passenger leaning out of a window saying to me, "Oh, we're going to be much longer." And that was quite hurtful. We do our best, but on the front of the train there was somebody dead. You know, somebody had taken their life on the front of the train, and you know, what was asked of me is, "You're going to be much longer."
No, Echo 23 start Newcastle, Clyde. 1750.
Back at East Coast headquarters, the control centre team is anticipating the impact of the delays on rush hour London.
Have you seen all these late runners we've got coming from the north? Nothing's terminating short, and at the moment we've got no plans for anything to be cancelled going back out. We'll just keep running with everything. If we get late starts, then we'll just have to grin and bear it. There will be impacts in London. Might mean pressure on in London for 15-20 minute turnarounds.
About 60% of East Coast passengers start or finish their journey at King's Cross, so Gary has every reason to worry about the impact of the day's delays on rush hour traffic. Claire's train finally comes in.
Is this the 3:30?
But another delay ties up the schedule.
The line is out of use at the moment.
And train guard Kane races to avoid mishap.
Excuse me.
The majority of passengers are quite understanding when you explain to them over the tannoy that the train's been delayed due to a fatality. Unfortunately, in this day and age, it is quite frequent, fatalities, and it causes a lot of delays and throughout the whole day.
A fatality on the tracks earlier in the day has put the East Coast schedule back by more than 2 hours.
Well, that's the one that's gone first anyway.
Services going north from York to Scotland have been terminated, and now the focus is to get enough trains south to King's Cross to handle the evening commuter rush. Station Customer Services Manager Olga is bracing herself for the possible onslaught of late trains and upset passengers.
The black one, which is heavily delayed, is 87 minutes late now. This train meant to form 5 minutes past 4 to Leeds. So as it's currently an hour away from here, so it's definitely not gonna form 5 minutes past 4. As well as this train, yeah, it's over an hour late as well. So that means that we need to find another train, which is a set swap, basically.
A set is rail speak for a whole train. A set swap essentially means prepping a train to take a different route than it was originally booked for. And at King's Cross, with rush hour fast approaching, it's essential to do this very, very quickly.
With our dispatchers and duty team leaders who needs to be on the ball of everything and who needs to make sure that all the trains that arrive late, they're all tanked and serviced and cleaned and reserved very quickly.
It's not just paying customers who've been affected by today's disruptions. Train guard Claire's been stuck in King's Cross waiting for her return train to Newcastle. And there's good news. It's just come in.
So mine's on platform 2, but it's got 2 head codes, so I'll have to go and find out which one's ours. Is this the 3:30? It's got 2 head codes on the board?
Yeah.
All right. Right, this is my train, so we must be leaving on time, so that's all I'm bothered about.
Claire is finally on her way home to Newcastle, and it looks like the tangle of delays across the network is slowly but surely being straightened out.
East Coast Control. Yeah, we've got Echo 25 behind him, but I would imagine there'll be quite a lot of people going.
But the day's drama is not over yet. Back at East Coast Control, the team has been hit by another unforeseen snag.
Yeah, we've got a plastic sheet on the overhead line equipment at Grantham.
Every year, hundreds of plastic bags and kiddies' balloons wreak havoc, costing the rail company precious time and money.
That's the contact wire there, where the plastic bag is actually laying on as well. That's where the electric locomotives pick the overhead line supply up.
With trains running at up to 125 miles per hour and over 25,000 volts of live electricity coursing through the cables, contact with even the flimsiest of objects has the potential to cause serious damage.
So if that gets tangled in the pantograph, it causes all sorts of problems, losing power and everything. So it always amazes when you've got 1,000 acres of sky up there, yet these things seem to find the overhead line equipment. The line is out of use at the moment until that's removed safely by overhead line staff.
At King's Cross, Olga is still concerned about a last-minute set swap that could prevent the 5 p.m. train to Edinburgh from leaving on time.
1700. Do you still need help for that, yeah? Yeah, all right, thank you.
But the efforts of East Coast Control have paid off. Enough trains have made it south to London on time, so last-minute set swaps aren't required.
It's already there, boarding, and we'll be ready to leave exactly on time, so all good now.
Olga's happy. The busy commuter exodus from King's Cross is running without major disruption. And back at East Coast Control in York, the plastic bag snag has been resolved.
Thank you. Cheers, Dan. Right, John. Grantham, we're okay now.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Thanks. So the bag at Grantham's now been removed, so services running through Grantham, heading northbound. Normal running, normal working resumed. So that's all clear and out of the way now.
With his shift drawing to a close, Gary's hopeful that he's seen the last of the day's delays.
We're pulling round slowly but surely. It's a lot better than it was about 3 hours or so ago. I've got about an hour and a half to go, so yeah, hopefully we're over the worst of today, so I can go home and have a nice bite to eat at home at tea.
It's not just the control centre staff that troubleshoots problems on the line. East Coast also has a team of roving engineers who work behind the scenes, making sure the network runs smoothly. In Peterborough, train fitter Alistair is on call.
I like fixing things, yeah.
When a driver reports a mechanical issue, Alistair rides the rails to diagnose the problem.
It's something different every day. It's what helps to make it interesting.
Today, Alistair's tending a locomotive with a faulty speedometer. The reading jumps erratically from 125 up to 140 miles an hour.
It keeps jumping up every now and then at certain bends and things, which causes the drivers a bit of consternation. And it's usually a problem with one of these probes where the cables have got crushed or have partly damaged. I've opened the door so I can actually see what the speedo's doing, see when it does actually jump. If you look at the speedo, you'll see it's doing 140 miles an hour.
Relax, passengers, it's not actually going that speed, it's just a faulty reading.
Even when it was doing that, I couldn't really get a satisfactory reading from any of the probe. I'll have to wait and see if it does it again.
And don't worry that there's no driver. That's because Alistair is in the training car at the back of the train. Halfway to London, the probe picks up the problem.
If you notice there that the figures are dancing about all over the place, that's the actual voltage output from number 4 probe, and it's not as steady as it should be. Something not right there. I think what we'll do, we'll ask the maintenance control, see if we can get the probe on number 4 axle changed tonight, and see if that cures it.
The fault is found and reported. Alistair's patience and persistence have paid off.
The whole idea of the job is to make sure that the service runs as efficiently as possible with the least amount of delay to the passenger. Cheers. Ta-da.
Unbeknown to the travelling public, Alistair packs up and quietly slips off the train, leaving no trace behind.
You're always behind the scenes, never at the front, sort of just only keeping your head down, getting your hands dirty and mending things.
And that's how he likes it.
Where are you travelling to, sir? Newcastle. Newcastle, yeah, if you go look this next door and walk through it, they'll be going shortly, sir.
While train fitter Alistair operates behind the scenes, the train guard's role is front and centre. Kane's been a guard for a year, and one thing he's learnt about the job is...
every day is different on the railway.
He may be just a ticket collector to you, but this guy is primed for every eventuality.
This is the ticket printing machine. We accept credit cards, have a scanner. For the new print at home tickets, these are the all-important ticket stampers, the T-key and the T-key holder. This is to open your panels. And my awkwardly positioned torch, so it's just a lamp for dispatch in the dark. It's sets to either clear light, green light or red light for emergencies. Oh, whistle. And that's just not an ID card, it's also a PTS card. That little box at the bottom proves I've passed my own personal track safety test. And the hair's always got to look good.
Kane is an on-board superhero, ready for any mission.
The lights have gone out in carriage C.
In carriage C? Yeah.
So every time we go through a tunnel, we're in complete darkness.
Oh, right, I'll come down straight away and sort that.
Fuses blown or something, so...
We've probably gone through a section where the power's been lost, but I'll...
By the time the passengers caught up with Kane and carried C, the problem's been sorted.
We're getting to York.
Emergency over.
Emergency over. The problem is fixed. There's a thing on the railway, never say something's fixed, because we work on jinx. When I first started as a guard, I was jinxed for the first few weeks. Touch wood. Not been a jinx since, you know. Checking all tickets, please.
A jinx, you say, Kane? It would appear that railway people are a superstitious lot.
Oh.
Old team plumbing.
Yeah, ticket in the coffin.
I've never done that before, ever.
As the train approaches Peterborough, Kane faces yet another headache. This time it's a problem with the doors.
Nope. Panel's not working.
Kane flies into action.
I just do a little jog, I'm a bit flustered. I did a marathon last year, believe it or not, and I'm not as fit as I want.
It's a mad Saturday night, and Pam reads the riot act.
No, one more, and you're off the station.
And Julie goes full throttle to stop an accident in the making.
You never know what's going to happen. You never know what each carriage could unfold. You're going into each carriage blind as much, and you're on your own as well, so if something does unfold in front of you, you have to think fast. Our job can be compared to a counsellor, a policeman, a security guard. Each scenario requires you to wear a different cap.
Being a train guard might look simple, but it's a demanding and complex job. The most important duty is safety.
Initially, I'd take my lead off the driver, but if anything was to happen to the driver, then I would be in charge of passenger safety, organising emergency services, protecting the line, because that's the main thing. You know, if something were to happen on a train, you have to stop traffic. That's the first thing that you do, which is why we have in here, they are track safety clips. And they're the ones that will be put on each side of the track, and they'll turn the signal ahead to red and the one behind, so it stops train traffic.
A guard must be equipped for whatever gets thrown at him, even canine management.
Oh, calm down, calm down, calm down. I've been put on dog sitting patrol, so I'm having a lot of firsts today. A lot of firsts. Now this is a rare occasion that I get asked to dog sit. Oh, bless it, it's shaking. Is the guy still gone because I'm taking this dog? Oh, no, I'm taking the dog. Caught in the red-handed, I'm going to take that dog up.
The train arrives at Newcastle and Kane's clocking off.
I bought Lord of the Rings on Blu-ray yesterday, so I'm going home to chill. Probably get a couple or 3 or 4 packets of cookies on the way home and just nosh to my heart's content. Right, see you later. See you later, Paul.
Kane can kick back and relax, knowing he's done a good day's work. But for other East Coast staff, the working day is just beginning. York Station is one of the busiest on the East Coast line. 5.8 million passengers pass through the station each year. If there's one shift that's guaranteed to be lively, it's Saturday night. Information controller Julie finds it one of the most unpredictable shifts of her week.
Yeah, I do. I like Saturdays. It's entertaining, so it's a really good shift. We'll be busy about 5 o'clock onwards, right through till after 10 o'clock with hen parties, stag parties, just people out for days out drinking. So you just got to keep your eye on them, chance to fall on the track or just be stupid when the train comes in, so you just got to be vigilant with them at all times. It must be a dressy up for tonight, getting ready, but I won't come on station with rollers in, that's for sure. Rail 7 to 9.
A last-minute track reassignment puts Julie on the alert.
Come on, let's run.
2 trains are coming in on platform 9, one right after another. Julie has to make sure passengers don't get on the wrong train.
This is going to be organised chaos on here at the moment because we've got a Newcastle coming in now and we've got a London coming in straight after. So we've got to make sure that they don't get on the wrong train and tell them. Where are you going? See, in this one I said it's the second train, not this one. See, that's what I mean, confusion. Rail 7 to Rail 3, any chance you can ask the guard to do an announcement to say this is the Newcastle, not the London service? This isn't the Doncaster, it's the next one. This is a Newcastle service.
But there's only so many people Julie can take care of.
She's on the wrong train, that lady, now. Keep away! Number 5 for London now. 5, just through there. Anybody for London, number 5? Anybody for the London platform 5?
Julie barely has a moment's pause before she's on the run again.
Hang on. There's a gentleman on, it's just come off train on 3. I don't know if he's fallen or something, but the guards just said he might have broke his leg or broke some hurt some ligaments, so he just needs a wheelchair to get him to the taxi rank to the hospital. So we'll just go and see what's happened. Oh. Can you not get up? Hang on.
No, but...
I'll get somebody to come and help me. Are you sure?
Yeah, it's fine.
Hang on.
Oh.
All right, hang on, I'll get it for you. Where you come from? Oh, no, they're slowest trains.
Yeah.
Oh, bless.
Hi. Thank you very
All
much.
right, you're welcome. I hope you're better.
Never made it here, ain't you?
He got his injury playing football, he said. He thinks he's pulled a ligament in his leg, because I thought at one stage it might have been broken. But he said he's going home, maybe have a knock bath and see how he goes, and then he might go to the hospital. All right, see you later. Bye. So that's another thing on a Saturday night, but at least he was really nice, a nice bloke, and that for helping him.
Newcastle, customer service assistants Pam and Claire are in the midst of Saturday night shenanigans.
Have you had a good night? Yeah? Yeah? No. Oh, you've got to be nice. Hey, man. Hey, man.
Careful, boys, keep it clean.
No. Nope.
No,
we don't have that. Mummy instincts came out there, did you see? No.
There's young ladies. We don't have swearing.
No.
Aye.
One more,
Oh, you can't
and you're off the station.
Oh, look, my doors.
Oh,
On the other side of the platform, Pam and Claire spot an all too familiar sight.
Stephen, you better get your mop out.
Steve, you might want to put at least a cone in front of him.
Every weekend, it's a common thing, and unfortunately, it's our colleagues that have to go and clear it up. Not a nice job.
Just another Saturday night in Newcastle. Back in York, Julie's eagle eye spots a potential disaster and she's back running.
On! No, I'm not winning. Either on or off, quickly. On or off, quick. No, you'll have to get on or off. On or off. Move back. No, off the track. Off. Some ladies, the girls who was already on the train, was holding the doors. It was their mates that came at last minute. She went, as the train was going, she went to try and push the door open. Well, she had a few drinks. If she'd have slipped, she'd have been right down the side of the train and she'd probably have been killed. So that's why I ran down to try and stop her from getting on. And that's my shift finished. And I'm absolutely tired out, running about. But it's been a good night and a good shift, so I've enjoyed it.
You've earned your stripes tonight, Julie.